Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? My name is Kent. Channel is Bitcoin Grinder, and I'm a little bit late for the sunset. One of these evenings, I'm going to catch a sunset where you actually see the sun drop down in the ocean. You see a splash. I'll do that, but tonight was kind of cloudy. In fact, it's kind of cloudy here right now. It's not. Someone said, "God, you got a beard and you live along the beach." And I responded to him and I said, "Yeah, I have a beard because sometimes it's cold along the beach." And if you've lived in Southern California, you know there's a lot of days where it's kind of cloudy and cold. So it's not always warm beach, sunny weather where everybody's running around in short sleeves and swimsuits, because it does get cold out here. But anyway, instead of showing you the beach, I'm going to show you downtown Carlsbad, because we always got these guys with the Mustangs. So this is downtown Carlsbad, which is a lot of people identified where I was at. I said I was in Carlsbad, but a lot of people noticed it, said, "Yeah, that's my old stomping ground. I remember that place." But anyway, this is a real popular bar right here. This is Coyote Bar, and they have karaoke. It's a little after hours right now. I think they're shut down. In fact, I know they're shut down. But this is the Coyote, and it's here in a place called, I think it's called Town Center. I'll walk around this place a little bit while I talk about Bitcoin. So obviously, Bitcoin's not doing well. It's below $60,000. Right after the halving, a lot of people say, "Hey, this is normal. This is typical. This is just the charting of what's going on with Bitcoin. Watch the charts. This is what it always does." And I'll have to go back and look at the charts closely because I don't remember it this way. I was involved with the halving in 2016 and then 2020, and I'm almost certain it didn't take this kind of drop right after the halving. And of course, I attribute it to the fact we have BlackRock and other ETFs now controlling a lot of the Bitcoin price. The way they control the Bitcoin prices, they control the buying and selling of Bitcoin. They have massive amounts of Bitcoin, and they control it. How much they do, autonomously, I don't know, because they have control. So they can do whatever they can do. They can delay buying Bitcoin. They can do whatever they want to do in order to manipulate the price. So it's kind of shut down tonight. This place, like I said, called Town Center. It's usually lit up, and of course they have a really nice waterfall right here in the center of this place. It's kind of, like I said, I'm here after hours, probably after midnight. I'm back to my normal hours. Usually I like to make these videos. I was going to start making them earlier in the day. I used to make them late at night, but I'd like to make them a little earlier in the day and show people around Carlsbad, California. So it really is a nice place. If you ever make it to Carlsbad, just look me up. I'd like to meet up with you. It's kind of a fun place where you go out and do something, get something to eat, something to drink. So anyway, this is Town Center. This is a really nice shot here. I'll go up on the top level. Sure, I've shot a lot of videos from here, but like I say, a lot of times during the day, and it's not overly crowded. It's just a nice, nice place to come shop and check things out. There's a Starbucks right up there, and of course, the Carlsbad sign is right at the top of the stairway here. I'll show you the Carlsbad sign. That's a really nice sign. I don't know what they spent putting that thing up. Probably a small fortune. Carlsbad is not it's not an inexpensive place to hang out. It's a very expensive part of the country. Although, it's nice, but I don't know if it's worth it, what it costs to live here, that's for sure. Especially when you're living next to the beach, it really gets expensive. And I don't know that beach living is all that much. I mean, I've lived along the beach here since 2008, and we're lucky if we make it to the beach maybe a couple times a year. So I'm not a big surfer, and I kind of like what my mom said years ago. She said, "I love the beach, but the only problem is all that sand." That's kind of the way I feel about it. Oh, they got a nice mural down there. Haven't seen that. That's something new. Well, so anyway, I captured it on my video. So it's a nice place to be, but it's probably like every place else, a little bit overrated. But if you're looking for a little place to go just to hang out along the beach, Southern California, this would probably be a good choice. I mean, if you go down to La Jolla is nice, but it's really crowded down there. I mean, here is a little bit less crowded. So I'm walking out to the street. Right on the other side of those buildings, that's where the ocean is. So back to what I want to talk about a little bit is Bitcoin. We had the Fed meeting, I think on Wednesday. They decided to leave the rates unchanged. And of course, they're doing that because of inflation. And I don't know what's going on. I mean, half the time you're hearing about inflation, then you hear deflation. And who knows what's going on. I mean, they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. Everybody has different circumstances, so we all live in a different world as far as our finances are concerned. But things are going up in price. And I do believe that the economy is broken. And I'll tell you why the economy is broken. The economy is broken for two reasons. The first reason the economy is broken is because people don't want to work anymore. I mean, they don't see any, it's not that they don't want to work, they want to work, but they don't see any value in work. That's a better way of stating it. There's no value in working anymore, especially when you go to work for a company and you're a young person, you're full of energy, you're full of ideas, you're motivated to do something, you go to work for a company. Right there's the Carlsbad sign. Here, I'll go over and take a picture in front of this Carlsbad sign. So you're a lot of motivation to work, and then all of a sudden the company lays you off, and they just dispense of you. You know, the first time there's any kind of little bit of downturn or rough times, they just go ahead and lay you off. Just like what's going on with Elon Musk right now, one of the richest guys in the world, but he has he's laying off, I don't know how many percentage of his workforce. I think it was 10% of the workforce of Tesla is getting laid off. Richest guy in the world, but he can't afford to keep his employees around. I mean, I don't know how wealthy that is. If you can't afford to keep your employees around, I wouldn't think you're that wealthy. I mean, he should make some sort of concessions, keep his employees around. So if you're a young person and you're motivated, go to school, do all this stuff, you really want to invest your life in a company that dispenses of you so quickly and so easily. And of course, that's the way it goes in this country today. You know, the first thing to go is the workforce. You know, first time, any kind of economic downturn, let's just get rid of all the employees, because that's one of the most expensive things that we have on our, you know, as far as company expenditures concerned are. And of course, that's been, you know, Warren Buffett made himself billionaire doing that. Everybody's made themselves billionaires by taking over companies and just getting rid of the workforce, getting rid of the management, getting rid of as many places as they, shipping jobs overseas and doing all that stuff. I mean, that's been going on for 30 years, 40 years since I was a young man. So that's the first way that this economy is broken. The second way this economy is broken, you know, people just don't want to work. They don't want to have jobs anymore because it doesn't have any value. It's not a support system. It's not a security system. It doesn't give you a place where you can hang your hat for a while, for, you know, a bulk of your life, and then have some, a way to retire and have some, have a little bit of security. It isn't involved anymore. The second way, here, I'll take a selfie in front of the picture. So there we are. Okay. Hopefully you see me and the sign together. The second way this economy is broken, and of course, a very big thing that's broken about the economy, is we have no trust in any of the people that are in power. You know, forget about the president. That's gotten to be a joke. I mean, you don't even know anymore when you're listening to Biden talk or Trump talk. You know, if you're listening to a Saturday Night Live skit, or you're listening to the real actual press conference, there's so many gaffes, there's so many things that they say that aren't correct or wrong, that it's just become a total joke. And I mean, if you're a young person, you're living in this world, and you have no reverence for these people because they're not to be trusted. They lie all the time. They say whatever they want to say. They do everything they can for self-promotion. And there's just no faith in the people that are our leaders. You know, and there's nobody can really break through that barrier to become, I mean, maybe at one time in our country, there was an opportunity for a real person to become an elected official, you know, like a president or a senator or a congressman. But now anymore, those doors have been shut for years, that there's so little opportunity for people to get involved with politics, because takes so much money. And of course, to get that money, you have to basically sell your soul, and you sell your soul to whatever cause somebody wants, you know, like the Food and Drug Administration, of all the bad stuff that we eat. I mean, they can say, hey, we want people to vote for less strict policies as far as what we have to put on food labels. So they go ahead and they support some candidate that supports those positions, and they give them money. And of course, then they make billions and billions of dollars because they're selling crappy food. And then they got these politicians giving them the pass on that. So this is the way things work. So yeah, that's an annoying weight thing. But I'm right here at the main intersection of Carlsbad. Right there's the ocean. In fact, I'll walk down to the ocean as we're talking here. Okay, walk down to the sun. Okay. So yeah, so our elected officials have let us down. And in that respect, the economy is broken because they have a huge amount of effect on the economy and policies, monetary policies, if we go to war or not, how much money we give to Ukraine and all this stuff. All that stuff is, we don't get the real story anymore. And I think that's really sad for the younger people. I mean, I'm going to be 64 in about 20 days, 25 days, actually 24 days now. So, you know, my generation is getting older, and a lot of this stuff isn't going to affect my life as much as it's going to affect my kids' life or other people's lives that are younger, because, you know, most of my years are past behind me. I mean, I feel bad for the kids that they're young and they have to deal with this stuff. So the economy's busted. I mean, there's no value in work anymore. And then there is no, you can't trust our government officials, can't trust people that are elected in office anymore. And then I could go on down the list of all the other things busted, but those are the two main things I think right now. And then you can talk about the way the economy is run and the fact that, we don't have, and I mean, this is well known. I mean, it wasn't known when I was growing up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s about how the Federal Reserve just actually, they don't necessarily print money, but they borrow money. The US government borrows money from the Federal Reserve. And so there's really no, that's a pretty cool car. There's really no value to our money. Yeah, they're out. The car people are out tonight. I think it's about midnight, so they're driving their nice cars up the coast. So yeah, we have no value in our money, and that's why I become a Bitcoiner. Because Bitcoin is one of the true things you can put your money in that has some real fundamentals. It's not this the cops are right after him. Yeah, there we go. Carlsbad police doing their job. So we have, we have a fiat currency that has no value, printed as we need it. So they want to fund Ukraine. Guess what? They just print the money to do it. And that's really crazy. I mean, when you think about it, it just doesn't make any sense. And it's not going to last. It never does last. Those kind of things never do last. You can't just keep printing money forever and have value in it. But this has been talked about forever. So, yeah, that's another reason why the world is busted, or the economy is busted. Fiat currencies. So, like I said, I became a Bitcoiner because I saw that Bitcoin had fundamentals to it. There's only 21 million ever to be made, ever be mined. And then there should be a supply and demand thing, as supply goes down, demand increases or stays the same, the price should go up. And that's why I've been complaining about the price here lately. It's not it's not following those fundamental market principles, supply and demand. So I will continue to be a Bitcoiner, and I'm hoping that maybe by making videos and talking about it, I can kind of help or not help, but I can kind of let this information get out for other people, hopefully for the younger people. If you want to free yourself from politics and all the corruption and all the garbage in the world today, just become a Bitcoiner. Because Bitcoin doesn't have any politics affiliated with it. It's apolitical. There's no government that founded Bitcoin. There's no government that is part of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has nothing to do with any governments. It's apolitical. No government sponsors it. No government developed it. No government works on it. No government has any interest in Bitcoin. They don't do Bitcoin because it's not like a currency. It's not like a government currency. It's independent of that. The other thing about Bitcoin is it has no country of origin. The developer, if all we really know is a guy by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. People assume he's Japanese because it's a Japanese name, but we don't know. We don't know who it is. For all we know, it could be some sort of government plan that developed Bitcoin, and they're just pulling it off as this organic homegrown thing, but we don't know. But as it stands today, and I tend to believe probably 85 to 90% believe that it is organic and it wasn't a government plant, but it could be a government plant, but I don't believe it's a government plant. I think it's organic. So it's apolitical. It's not sponsored by any government. It wasn't developed by any organization or group of people. It has no affiliation with any kind of groups or any kind of lobbyists or any kind of political powers that are putting it or doing one thing or another with it. No, it's completely independent, and that's why I love it, because it's independent and it's apolitical, and it wasn't sponsored by any government like that. So this is why I believe in Bitcoin. This is why I think other people. So if you want to get rid of all these negative things about the society and what we live in today, the corruption and all the other things we have, just like I say, start following Bitcoin and believe in Bitcoin. And hopefully, enough independent people buy Bitcoin and be involved with Bitcoin. It still will keep it, as independent as possible, even though we have the ETFs that are involved that are probably manipulating things as much as they possibly can, because they're always going to do that. They'll just do that in their own interest. So yeah, they're involved, but hopefully enough freedom-thinking people can still be involved with Bitcoin to keep it as free as possible, and also keep it as independent as possible, and make it better than almost anything else in the world to put your money into. So Bitcoin probably is, like I said, the best thing in the world to put your money into, in my opinion. And like I say, for the reasons I've been speaking of, that the economy and the system is broken, and Bitcoin's about as far as independent as you can get, and still have something that has some safety involved, something that you can invest in that has, you're not going to just lose your money overnight because of some weird, something broke down and somebody just took your money, stole your money. It's safe, and it's the other thing about Bitcoin is now with the ETFs, and that's one of the reasons I was for the ETFs. Is now it's gotten the public endorsement, it's gotten Wall Street's endorsement, it's gotten government endorsement. So even though it's not sponsored by government, wasn't developed by government, it's got the government endorsement. The BlackRock and all these different ETFs, they trade now on the public exchanges. So that makes it's got a ticker symbol, and it's about as safe as you can get. So Bitcoin is the play. It's the way to go. I mean, and I do think it's going to come back. I mean, we need to see, somebody said the other day is, just expect what we got, be happy with the way the price is. I'm not going to be happy with the price of Bitcoin until it gets to be about 100K. I mean, that's where I think it should be, is about 100K. When it gets to be 100K, then I'll think we're back on track. But right now, for whatever reason, about 58, 59,000, where it's messing around right now, that's not acceptable numbers for me as far as my ability to understand Bitcoin. So I don't know if you can pick up the waves or not. This is a nice little place where people gather. A little bit of grass right here. Here, I'll flip the thing around. Yeah, right here. It's a nice little piece of grass where people kind of congregate. And let me see if we can see the ocean over here. This is the 101 right here. And if you want to come out and spend big money in a hotel, you're looking at them right there. I mean, that's probably $300 or $400 a night for those motel rooms. And I've never been in them, but I can't imagine they're worth that kind of money. But see, you can look at the people across the street. I don't know if you can see them or not, but the guy's got his hoodie up. So I'm not the only person walking around like they're freezing to death. Because it isn't. I mean, it can be kind of cold out here. People don't think so, but it can be kind of cold. Because the closer you get to the ocean, the higher the humidity is. And if it's a little bit chilly, then it goes right through you. That's for damn sure. So I think I walked back down here the other night, and it was, the tide was out pretty far. Let me see if the tide's out. Actually, we can walk right down here. I mean, I don't know how much light I have. Maybe the light won't pick this up, but let me walk down here. Yeah, the tide's out pretty far. You can see it right now. There actually is a cam. Like, I don't know, on that building right there, there's an ocean cam. So you can check out the waves, that Seabreeze vacation property. I think there's a camera on top of that. And you can go online and you can look right down on the ocean and you can see the waves. And right there, yeah, see, you can see the tide's out quite a ways. You can see where the water usually comes right up here close to the beach, or close to this, where the hill is. But yeah, you can see the water's out there pretty far. Anyway, maybe tomorrow I'll come out during the daylight, right about sunset, and see if we can catch the sun dropping into the ocean, because that's kind of neat. But we are in gloom time, June gloom, May gloom, whatever they want to call it. So this would be kind of more of a gloomy time. But anyway, we'll check it out tomorrow. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.